you know, probably one of the latest cold fronts we've had this year. I mean, it's actually colder today than it seems like the entire year. I mean, this is our true cold front, late April, almost getting to May. We're only a few days away from getting live bait. Really low water conditions today compared to yesterday. I think we're going to do pretty good. I think really what's going to happen is that we're going to find that with the winds now down, we'll probably come around and fish some of the shallow points that have oysters on them are probably going to be our most productive. And then fishing some of the areas that really have a lot of flooded grass once the water comes up, because we've got a really big tide today, and that's what's going to help us. The water's going to actually come up and flood the grass, and that's actually where we're going to catch a lot of our bigger trout. But we've been doing really well fishing in the Hopedale side, which we call the Hopedale side, which is really like Lake Coquille, Lake Calabass, those areas. Fishing a lot of oysters right now has been producing a lot of fish up to 5 pounds to 6 pounds, so it's been really good. Well, really what we've been doing is that we're fishing an incoming tide. Today our tide's a little bit low, but what we've been doing is fishing an incoming tide that we always get during this time of year, during the day. And what we're doing is we've been fishing the flooded grass. The trout have been getting right up against the bank because we have a lot of oysters on these banks compared to a lot of places that, you know, don't have it like it is here, you know. We actually call this spot the Shell Cove because there's so many shells in here, and it's just really loaded up with them. And what we're doing is we're fishing top waters over these shells, and what we're doing is we're trying to you know, call these fish up. But one of the main things is that, like right here behind us, you can see this current line. You can see it's slick in the water. It's going around. What our water is doing is it's coming in, and it actually gets pushed into this cove and kind of comes out. And all those fish, it's kind of an area that's shallow. They can sit in. They feel protected. But then the bait gets washed up through here, especially shrimp, and they're feeding on them real heavily. And we've been catching, I mean, we got adverse conditions today, but honestly, we've been catching some extremely large trout, you know, in this area. And where we're at, we're right here by $7 Bay. We're fishing these broken islands all around this area, right off the Spall Canal. It's a really easy place for people to get to from Breton San Marina, and it'll be good all the way until probably about mid-May. And then what happens is that mid-May the fish just kind of make that migration and go back out, and they get into Breton San and get around the rigs and right on the marsh line. But this time of year, for the next probably 2 or 3 weeks, it'll be good in here. You know, you'll catch a lot of fish up in here. Let's see what happens. Felt like a trout hit me. I'm hoping it's a nice little trout on here. But I'll tell y'all, yeah, it's a little trout. He's not as big. I got him kind of hooked sideways, but nice trout. But I'll tell y'all right now, if y'all gonna come out and fish my area or fish any area along the Gulf Coast, right now in the spring, we're fishing these flats with all the oysters. You want to find those little oyster areas that the oysters are clumped up and fish baits like this. I mean, it's a prime example. Nice trout, but this corky right here, made by Browns, it's deadly on these speckled trout. I mean, it really is. And today we got a little bit darker water, so we went with a little bit darker bait, being a purple. But these trout right here, what they're doing is, these are females sitting up on these oysters. They're warming up because the weather got a little chilly on us. But the other thing is that it's a great spot for them to ambush. This bait just kind of twitching along, seeing what's happening. Bam, they're hitting it. Solid, I don't know, two pound fish, something like that. Really nice fish, actually. Good one on that corky. That's a good bait. All right, anglers, hey, I'll tell y'all one thing. A lot of times that when everybody comes to my seminars or anything like that, they're always asking me, like, Charlie, when you're riding out and you're looking for a place to fish, how do you know what's a really good spot? Well, one thing you want to remember with speckled trout is that the up current side of everything that you're going to fish is probably best. Meaning the upside of the rig, where you're on the up current side of whatever you're fishing. So like if it's a point that sticks out, you want to be on the up current side, not on the falling side. So that usually is the reason for that is that fish usually tend to enjoy being up on that front side. Salinity's better, water clarity's better, and then they're right there at the beginning where they can ambush that bait that comes through. Another thing to look for always is bait. I know it seems overrated, but I will tell you that majority of the time, if you see the live bait, mullet or pogies popping somewhere, there's speckled trout in that area for sure. So just kind of look around when you're going along a bank. If you see a point sticking out and the current's coming around it, get on the up current side and fish it. If you see a rig you want to fish, get on that up current side and fish it like that. And I guarantee you, that will increase the way you catch fish. Oh yeah, he's pretty decent. comes around here. Tell y'all. Yeah, they're starting to get aggressive because they're starting to eat it. I'm starting to catch them. They're starting to hook it in their mouth. So that's telling me right there that they're starting to get aggressive. We just needed to wait a little bit, you know? Sometimes that happens. Now we'll tell y'all, on this corky the proper way, you throw it out, twitch, and let it fall. As it falls, that's when they strike it. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was trying to work it a little quicker early this morning, trying to get like kind of a topwater bite on this corky, but it wasn't happening. As soon as I started letting it fall, I've caught 4 in just the last 4 or 5 casts. So pretty good.